I'm Dustin Hanson with Graywell Entertainment.
And I'm Zane Pendleton with Out of Our System and Graywell Entertainment.
This is the Graywell Entertainment update for 6/25 release day. It's monstrous, gigantic stuff. So we'll just jump right in, show you our favorites and a bunch of other stuff, and keep going. First release I'm talking about is Palms on Ipecac Records. For all those in the know, you already know what this is. If you don't, it's Chino Moreno from the Deftones playing with 3 former members of ISIS. Sounds a lot like you think it would.
It's really dreamy. It has the drummer and the bassist from ISIS, so it has the same groove, the same rhythm as ISIS. Not the same heaviness. It's not metal, but it still has that signature to it.
And so Chino sings more like the Team Sleep stuff, kind of mellow. It's fantastic though to listen today. Colored vinyl. It's like a sun clear kind of pea yellow. Very, very cool CD and DVD, or CD and vinyl available. New album from Bass Drum of Death. Summertime, typical psych rock summer stuff.
Garage jam,
surf,
party, drinking beer, surf music.
That awesome. Self-titled. It's actually called Bass Drum of Death 2013, as you can see by the cover. CD and LP on that. Great. Fans of Jeff the Brotherhood, all that stuff, King Tough, anything like that, pick it up, you'll love it. Record I really like, Cheyenne Mize. Her first album was under the name Cheyenne Marie Mize. She dropped the middle name, kind of a country singer. She's great, very beautiful voice. New album, I don't even know what it's called. What's it called?
It's called Among the Gray, and it actually comes with a CD copy in it. And now you know what I'm talking about when I say that they come with a CD copy in the LP. It's literally right there in the front. You can see it. So.
And that we have on CD as well. So just buy that though. New metal release from Relapse, Locrian. Really creepy album cover. If you can see that really close, it looks like they probably just took a basic picture in a fog storm, but then they put it with their album, and it makes it look all like The Mist, all terrifying.
Because Locrian is a droney experimental black metal band, so if you're into stuff like Horseback or Earth or just anything that's like real long droning metal songs, they're one of the best at that. So this is their new release on Relapse.
Very cool. Well, let Zane talk about this while I model something for you, everybody.
It's the new August Burns Red, Rescue and Restore. August Burns Red's the kind of metalcore-ish metal band. If you buy this on LP or CD, you'll get a free pair of sunglasses for summer. They actually say the artist name and the album title on there. That nice coral pink, hot orange color.
Stylish.
So, yeah. So you'll get your album and your sunglasses in one go.
You can't miss out because they are sweet. They actually are UV 400 protection. I think that's like the legal minimum, so it doesn't make you go blind. Smith Westerns, pop band, kind of indie pop. They're on Mom and Pop Records. I think the last one was actually on Sub Pop. I might be wrong.
I think it was on Mom and Pop as well, actually.
Oh, okay. Well,
but it's just really good indie rock. That's basically the most straightforward thing you could say about it. It's very, very good. The last one was good, and this one is not an exception. So,
Dessa from what's that hip hop group?
Doomtree and Rhymesayers. So part of Rhymesayers Records, the hip hop label is Doomtree. Doomtree is home to artists like Atmosphere, POS, Cecil Otter,
all that stuff,
all those guys. And Dessa is on that as well. She's a female artist that's on the hip hop label, and she's actually very talented, really good. And she's actually coming in concert here later this year. So if you pick this up and you really like it, you can actually get a ticket for the show at Graywell as well.
2 new soul releases. I'll hold these both. Zane, hold on. I'll hold the other. Booker T from Booker T and the MGs, classic R&B soul stuff. Green Onions, classic album. He's done a few solo records over the last few years and has great help from a lot of people that come onto the record. This one is no exception. It got Mayor Hawthorne, Luke James, Anthony Hamilton, Pancho Sanchez, Vintage Trouble, a lot of really cool stuff. It's on Stax. Awesome stuff. Booker T, last couple, any of his last 3 solo records plus this one I would highly suggest picking up. The next one is Mavis Staples. She just had a release recently produced by Jeff Tweedy from Wilco. He's produced this record as well. I think this one's a bit more of the gospel feel than the last one, but she's an amazing voice. So either one of these, if you're into R&B soul stuff, more classic sounding, great. And the production from Jeff Tweedy, anything he touches with Wilco is great. Jane's Addiction has a new live album. They're back for their, I don't know, what, 5th iteration. They keep coming out with something new. It's called Live in New York City, comes on CD and LP. Jane's Addiction. New Transplants record.
This is singer. This is the singer of Rancid. This is his side project with Travis Barker from Blink-182, drumming, and so it's a mix of it's punk, but it's got almost a little bit of hip hop.
Yeah, it's really hip hop drum style.
Hip hop
and Paul
drum.
Wall's on one of the tracks. It's it's got Bun B on it as well. It's called In a Warzone. Epitaph Records. Punk fans, everybody happy. Lightning Dust. Jaguar. Lightning Dust features the girl lead singer from Black Mountain. The last couple records have been more folk, like oddball folk, dark folk. This one is almost fully electronic sounding.
They went full 80s. It's got a very 80s-ish sound to it. Really cool synth stuff. Some of the electronics and synth stuff actually remind me of like 90s industrial almost, but mixed with like these really pretty female vocals. So it's basically two members of Black Mountain that do this project, and it's kind of a shift from what they've been doing in the past. But I actually like it a lot.
Pretty cool. Now speaking of Black Mountain, a band now on Sub Pop Records that sound a lot like Black Mountain. That weird folk kind of country, not country, but like Western soundtrack feel.
This is actually like it's Rose Windows. It's on Sub Pop. It actually has like a really strong psychedelic, like a psych folk feel to it. It's got flutes and organs and stuff like that you would expect in like 60s folk and stuff like that. It's actually really interesting. I really liked this one, and I hadn't heard anything about it before this week. So
Bosnian Rainbows. Featuring members of Les Butcherettes and Mars Volta. Basically, it's Omar Rodriguez Lopez playing guitar, the lead singer from the Les Butcherettes album, female vocals. Kind of what you'd think it sounds like, kind of like a less...
Yeah, he's got a million side projects that he's been involved in, a million bands and side projects and self-titled things and stuff, and this is the latest thing that he's been doing. But it's actually getting really good reviews in a lot of places like NME and other music review mags. So
yeah, it's cool. It's him playing with female vocals instead of a dude singing. For fans of 80s synth soundtrack music, College, which did they featured music on the Drive soundtrack alongside Kavinsky. This stuff sounds almost exactly like Kavinsky. Very, very cool stuff. These were released a long time ago, like years ago, and that didn't really garner a huge popularity. Then Drive came out, and this stuff's great. They're now re-releasing the EP, which is Teenage Color, and the full-length album, Secret Diary, which is this one, on CD and LP. We have them both. They're very, very cool. It's just tied into all the stuff we talk about almost every week. There's some new 80s synth band that's super awesome. David Yao, formerly of Jesus Lizard and Scratch Acid, has a solo record out that's apparently terrifying, and it's a vinyl-only exclusive on Joyful Noise. If you're not familiar with David Yao, just go find a Jesus Lizard record. You'll be thrilled. He's
some of the best like noise alternative rock punk stuff that you can find.
Yeah, he's great. And now we're really interested to hear this and be terrified by it.
And it does come with a digital download as well, so you aren't just restricted to listening to it on your turntable.
A really cool vinyl, this is on vinyl only as a reissue. It's De La Soul's 3 Feet High and Rising, classic 90s hip-hop. There's not lots to say. It's the first time on vinyl in a really long time. It's a big, beautiful 2LP, heavyweight, gorgeous reissue. We have this at all locations. Go pick this up. It's great. And then last piece of vinyl that's interesting, this is a Mondo release. They did the Poltergeist. They've done a few other great releases. The Drive soundtrack with cool artwork. Same idea, cool artwork. This is the Raid Redemption soundtrack with music by Mike Shinoda from Linkin Park. Awesome. The movie's great too.
Yeah, if you missed the movie, it's one of the best action films of all time ever. But the soundtrack was actually really good, and it was like all done by, like he said, Mike Shinoda for Linkin Park. And this new package has, the cool new cover like they did. It's a comic book style cover. Mondo always does a really great job with the packaging. And it's actually a double LP on heavyweight. And one of the songs actually features Chino Moreno from the Deftones. So there you go. There's twice this video.
It's the week of Chino.
All right, I'm gonna get into some metal stuff. I got a bunch of stuff to run through real fast. First, Ramming Speed. This band, this new album called Doomed to Destroy, Destined to Die. Ramming speed's like straight up crossover thrash, which thrash is itself like a mix of punk and metal. It's just that. It's fast, it's straight ahead, it's in your face. This is only their second full-length album. They've done some splits and some EPs and things like that, but this is their second full-length on prosthetic. Mouth of the Architect has a new album called Dawning. Mouth of the Architect is for fans that that jokingly call it Neurisis, stuff that sounds like Neurosis, Isis, Cult of Luna, all the post-metal big heavyweight bands like that. This is for fans of that, and these guys are as good too. So Lesbian has a brand new album. It is called Forestelevision, all one word. Lesbian has a silly name. That's kind of cool, but the band itself is doom as doom. Like it's doom metal out the ass. And
they're from Seattle, and just you can feel it's deep forest
doom.
One track, 44 minutes long.
Which is their message to you that's the way you're supposed to listen to that album, is from start to finish. No bullshit. So, also out, Man's Gin. This is the solo project from Eric Wonder, who's actually in the band Cobalt, which is like kind of a alternative black metal band. This stuff is more aligned to like dark folk. It's like the guys who are in metal bands like Scott Kelly, Steve Von Till. Scott Kelly, Steve Von Till. Those guys that are in metal bands that go do some sort of like dark folk project on the side. That's what this is. So for fans of metal who want something that's not metal, this is
and it's on Profound Lore.
Yeah. This is Charlemagne. This is the album from Christopher Lee, the 91-year-old actor that plays Saruman in Lord of the Rings, Dracula, and the Hammer horror films. I mean, he's been around for decades and decades.
He's been in every Tim Burton movie for the last 10 years.
Yeah. He actually is a metal fan, and this is his metal CD. He's done narration for other bands and stuff like that. This is going to be like straight fantasy power metal stuff. And it's pretty awesome that a dude who's 91 has his own album called Charlemagne, The Omens of Death. So check that out. New album from Attila. Yeah, if you're a fan of Attila, they haven't had a new album for a little while. This is their brand new one that's coming out. It's called About That Life. And yeah.
And we have it.
Havok has a new album called Unnatural Selection. I love the cover artwork on this one. Havok is part of that like new wave of thrash metal that kind of surged up in the last few years. And you have bands like Municipal Waste and stuff like that. Havok is actually my favorite out of all those new wave bands because they seem to be the most angry, the most pissed off. And they're all very young guys who have a really good hold on what thrash is supposed to be like. So this is really cool stuff. I like this. They've got two others before this one that you should check out as well. This is a brand new album from Kalmah. It's called Seventh Swamphony. They're swamp obsessed. This is melodic death metal from Europe. These guys get compared a lot to Children of Bodom. It's some melodic death metal stuff that has keyboards in it. So depending on how you like keyboards in your metal, you may or may not like this. But if you are a fan of Kalmah, this is a really great album from them. And if you picked up the Children of Bodom last week, or yeah, I think it was last week that it came out, pick this up too. Don't waste your time. It's on Spine Farm as well. So just don't mess around. Pick up Kalmah. Hawthorne Heights has a brand new album. So fans of Hawthorne Heights, you already know what they sound like. They've been around forever. They're playing Warped Tour again this year on Warped Tour 13. So they have a brand new album here. So check that out. Rise Records, which is the kind of heavy metal, metalcore, screamo, post-hardcore label that, you know, they've just got a million bands signed to their label. This is a 3-disc set that has 50 songs from the last 22 years that they've been in existence. They've released 200 albums, or they've had 200 releases, and this is to commemorate that. It's kind of an anniversary, and it's got a huge track list of stuff that you can pick up. So if you're a fan of anything on Rise, or you're looking for new music and you already like some things that are on Rise, this is a great collection to pick up. And lastly, in the metal, there's a new Dio reissue for Magica, which is a concept album. It actually originally came out in like the year 2000, I believe, and it's been reissued since then in about 2007. But this is a new reissue. That the first disc is reissued. The second disc is extra bonus tracks, a narrated story by Ronnie James Dio that goes with the concept of the album, and some official live bootleg songs that were recorded after the album was released. So for Dio fans, this is the best version of this you can presently get. And the last thing, it's a huge release. I'm excited because I've been a fan of Amon Amarth for a long time, and I know a lot of people are fans of Amon Amarth. They have a brand new album called Deceiver of the Gods. We've actually got 3 different formats that you can pick it up on. There's an Ultra Super Deluxe that has a bust in it, but that one that we got has been spoken for. But you can still pick up these copies of this. There's the regular, there's the deluxe that has an extra bonus EP with 4 tracks that I believe are cover songs of bands or tributes to bands that influenced Amon Amarth. And then we have the picture disc vinyl, and the album artwork for Amon Amarth is always really super badass and ultra metal. So you have the cover artwork on the front with no text, which is really cool, and then on the back you have that, and you have the picture of the band. They all look like Vikings. So
yeah, these guys are on the cover of the brand new Decibel magazine as well. Hard to miss. And with purchase,
you actually get an Amon Amarth engraved Thor's hammer bottle opener keychain. This is the best thing you can do, because the best thing to do when a new Amon Amarth comes out is drink and listen to the new Amon Amarth. So check that out.
I'm going to go fast through a bunch of releases otherwise. There's this new album called Heirlooms of August. It's called Down at the 5-Star. It's Jerry Vessel and Terry Vessel. Jerry Vessel is in was in Red House Painters. He's in Sunkill Moon. This album is being released on Caldo Verde, which is Mark Kozelek's label, so he's in the bands with those guys too. Features female vocals, harmonies, really country, really beautiful. I highly suggest this record. Bath's Obsidian new album. We didn't get the vinyl. We should have it by the time you see this video, but as of right now, we just have the CD. They're on tour with Postal Service right now, and it kind of has that same feel. It's a little darker version of Postal Service. I think it's easy to say.
Little darker and a little more experimental, but it's still electronic indie music with melody.
Skillet, everyone's favorite 2-girl Christian band. They are
rock band.
A hard rock Christian band. Aren't they hardly Christian? I shouldn't say that.
I think so.
So they have a regular version and a deluxe. The deluxe comes with a live concert DVD and 3 additional songs. So we have both. Come pick one up. Serengeti on, what's the label?
This is on Anticon. This is the Kenny Dennis LP. And it actually features Anders Holm from Workaholics on it, which, if you're familiar with them, they actually used to do like their silly wizard rap stuff on YouTube before they had the Workaholics show. So he knows his way around hip-hop, and Anticon is actually a really cool label for strange hip-hop related and electronic related artists that are not your run-of-the-mill artists. So
there you go. Wale has a new album on Atlantic featuring Wiz Khalifa and Rihanna and Nicki Minaj and CeeLo Green. Lots of people on it. And actually, Jerry Seinfeld's featured on an outro, so which one of those names doesn't belong?
It's a bunch of rap artists plus Jerry Seinfeld.
And it includes the hit singles Bad and Love Hate Thing. So if you're a Wale fan, we've got it. Recognize on Strange Music, which is, what's his name's label?
It's like Tech Nine, Chris Calico, like all that kind of rap and hip-hop stuff. This is a brand new artist, as far as I'm aware, on Strange Music. So there's been a lot of pre-hype for this at some of our locations, so we'll have lots of copies of this.
And Tech Nine is on a song and stuff, so it's kind of similar to everything else on that Strange Music label. Bob Marley, Legend Remixed. It's Bob Marley and the Wailers Legend Remixed. This is an odd record. It's getting a lot of publicity, but it features remixes by Jim James, Ziggy Marley, Steve Marley, Thievery Corporation, Ronnie Size, Photech. And Z-Trip does a remix. There's lots of remixes. Features Lee Scratch Perry on a couple songs. They're basically taking classics that you know, all the Bob Marley Legend songs you know, and remixing them. So interesting to hear. I haven't had a chance to listen to it, but if you're a reggae fan and you like electronic mixes, that might be really cool. And then Middle Class Rut has a new album called Pick Up Your Head. It's out.
If you're a fan of them, they have the song New Low. It's like alternative rock, basically. And it sounds very similar to Jane's Addiction in parts. Yeah. So I haven't heard the new album, but if you're a fan of the last one, makes sense that you'll like this one too. Okay,
these are hard to go through. I'm going to go fast, but what they are features, it's called Original Classic Albums. It's 5 albums in a nice, they're little cardboard sleeves, but you get 5 studio albums from all these bands. We've had these before, but they just released another huge grip of them. Just wanted to mention them. They're through Sony, RCA. The legacy label from Sony.
For about $21, you get 5 classic albums from a huge list of artists.
Basically, it's $4 a record. It's actually cheaper than you can get most of the records on iTunes, anything like that. So these are really, really good purchases. Daryl Hall and John Oates, it has basically their first 5 studio records. Awesome. Johnny Cash has 5 classic records. Santana, for the fans of the early 70s stuff. There's a handful of good records on here. Korn, their first 5 records. Elvis Presley, 5 classics. These are all really, really cool. REO Speedwagon. I love your 80s rock. I guess that's 70s, but...
Speaking of 80s rock.
There's Heart, featuring Little Queen, Dog, and Butterfly. And don't forget, Private Audition. Stevie Ray Vaughan, for all you blues guitar fans. It's got the 5 you would ever look for when you come to buy them. Waylon Jennings, 5 classic records. Willie Nelson, 5 classics. Journey has Infinity, Evolution, Escape, Frontiers, and Raised on Radio. You don't need any more Journey than
Get
this.
Journey and REO and jam out all weekend.
Yep. You can buy a greatest hits CD, one single greatest hits that has 10, 12 tracks on it. But if you want to kind of have everything, buy this for $21 and you get quadruple the
5
songs.
complete albums.
And then Earth, Wind, Fire, just to add to the group. They're very cool releases. Check those out if you want to save some money and buy something cool. One feature item we want to talk about. We'll have one of these in the company for now, but we can get more if you need them. It's a book called From the Edge of the World, California Punk 77-81. It's photography by Ruby Ray. You can look at these up on the internet. There's lots of really great photos. And the cool feature about this is it actually features a CD with a bunch of tracks from the 16 bands featured from the scene. And the guys in that scene were Devo, X, The Germs, Zeros, Avengers, Crime, and lots of other bands.
It's a really cool portrait of a particular time in LA's music history.
Yeah, very cool scene, and they took a lot of great photographs. So if you want to check that out, we've got it. And we'll hop into DVDs. There's a new comedy album out. I'm going to hold that.
It's from Brian Posehn. He's been on a few TV shows like Just Shoot Me, but he's also had his new career as a stand-up comedian. He was part of the Comedians of Comedy with Patton Oswalt, Maria Bamford, Zach Galifianakis. He's a super funny guy. He has a brand new CD and DVD special. You can get it on either format. It's called The Fartist. You get it. So, yeah, pick that up. There's a track called Star Wars Part 3. Yes, I'm still mad about Star Wars.
Not many other, there's a handful of releases, but nothing too major. We want to go through The Call, starring Halle Berry, some thriller that Sean Edwards liked. So
he likes everything.
Wrap your brain around that one. The Incredible Burt Wonderstone, starring Steve Carell, Steve Buscemi, and Jim Carrey as magicians. And Olivia Wilde's in there just to make it look pretty. And then a really interesting IFC Midnight on the IFC Midnight label. This is an interesting horror, sci-fi horror. It says, in this space, everyone can hear you scream.
It's about an abandoned science research facility in the middle of the desert in Australia, run by the U.S. government. And a team goes in, and some things are awry. Yeah. So if you're a fan of indie horror, indie sci-fi, it's got a lot of awards, a lot of text between laurels. So...
Yeah, they won at Screamfest. That's why they won all their awards for best effects and stuff. And then we're carrying some of these special limited edition steelbook releases. They're very, very cool artwork. We'll hold these up here.
These are Blu-ray DVD combos of these movies. And they've gone with this really cool comic book style for the cover of the movies. But you can see that the movies that they've picked to do are really awesome. They've done Hot Fuzz, Scarface, Shaun of the Dead, Serenity, The Big Lebowski, and we'll also be getting Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. So if you want your Edgar Wright trilogy of films so far until The World's End comes out, you can get all these in these really nice hard steelbook versions of these. They come with all the bonus features, like they're the best possible version you can get for the Blu-ray and the DVD, and it's got every format you'd need to play these. So if you haven't picked these up before you've already got them, trade them in and come pick up these new versions because they're really super cool looking, and they'll look really nice on your shelf because they all have the nice reflective metal spines on them. So
the artwork is hard to tell in the video, but the artwork is really good. It's total comic book style. You have to really look at it. So come in and see us. All right, the last products we want to talk about. It's a company out of California called Dark and Somber Greetings.
Yeah, so they're based in LA, and what started as a joke on the internet has turned into a full business for them. Our friend Courtney at Dark and Somber has basically become in charge of this project where they do black metal greeting cards. They're cards for birthdays, or sorry I missed your birthday, or if you love your significant other. They've also got Thanksgiving, Christmas, holiday themed cards, but they all have a black metal theme to them. Like this one has that on the front, and on the inside it says, "It feels great to hate you." This says, "I hate everyone," and then on the inside it says, "Except for you."
Romance, black metal romance.
This one says, "I'm sorry," and then on the inside it says, "For being born." So or this one, it's time to celebrate the quickening of your death. And then on the inside it says it's your birthday. So if you're a metal guy and you don't like to get all sentimental and crap when you buy a card for somebody, this is the perfect middle ground where you can tell them that you care, but without destroying your credibility as a black metal fan.
Here locally, these are $4. The cards are $4, and we're the only place locally you can get them. If you're in LA, like Vacation Vinyl and some really cool stores have them, but we're the only place around here in Utah that has these. And then they just introduced my favorite thing in the world, tote bags. They have a tote bag. These are $10. Every location's getting them. It says, "Thank God for black metal." And it's a perfect tote to carry, go buy vinyl or groceries, wherever you want.
Comes with a little DNS greetings pin, and they're 100% cotton. They're really nice screen printed totes, and they do fit vinyl records very comfortably inside. So if you come in and you shop and you buy some vinyl records, pick one of these up too. You'll get 10% off with your Killer Whale card, which is a membership card for the store. And yeah, you'll be all set to carry them out of the store, and you'll look cool doing it.
And hopefully you see this video, Courtney. We love your stuff, and we're going to sell lots of it.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, make you work really hard. She hand stuffs all these cards and all that, so we want to make her work even harder.
It's all DIY. So.
All right, that's it for this week. Remember, as always, come into the store, talk to the employees about the new release schedules. They can kind of tell you what's coming up, and continue to follow our videos. You can follow them on the YouTube channel. Go ahead and say the YouTube channel.
It's youtube.com/outofoursystem. And then you can also find Graywell stuff at facebook.com/Graywell, and on Instagram and Twitter at GraywellSLC.
Great. It's a fun time of year. Summer's coming. We're going to start announcing our big summer barbecues, our big sales and our barbecues on these videos as well coming up. So stay tuned. Follow us on all that social media stuff, and don't be a dick and shop local.